And that means we just have one fight left. Nathaniel Grimard, Robert Wusstig, your main event featherweight bout. And here's the tale of the tape. Grimard 24, Wusstig 33. Everything else is pretty identical. Grimard has a 1-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach advantage, but nothing significant here. Both of these guys are very similar in size. Again, Grimard 3-2, Wusstig 7-12. His nickname's The Real Deal. He's coming off a loss to Mo Kanani, a UD loss to Mo Kanani at Combat FC3. And look, as we all know how good Mo is, you go the distance with him. That just goes to show how tough you are. So, interested to see what happens here in this fight. Nathaniel Grimard looking for a third-round finish. That's what he told me. He wants to showcase his whole evolved skill set here in this fight. So this will be his 4th time fighting at the Aura nightclub. So we'll see what happens. My partner, Greg, has lost his audio, so it'll just be me here until we can get this fixed. But, again, this is your main event, NEF 52, Nathaniel Grimard, Robert Wusstig. Wusstig in the cage right now, made his pro debut all the way back in 2008. He's got 3 submission victories and 2 TKO wins as well. And what I found interesting, too, is he already has his next fight lined up. He's competing at Combat FC 4. He's got a fight booked against Leonardo Ladera next, and that is in a month, so obviously health depending. Gets out of this fight unscathed, healthy, and good to go. And we'll see what Nathaniel Grimard has to say about that as he is in the cage now, again fighting at a Nostos MMA, one of the absolute premier gyms in the New England area. Obviously former NEF amateur featherweight champion. Most recently, big win over Carl Langston, round 1 TKO victory at NEF 51. Before that, he had a couple of losses to Darren Gibbs and Jake Hicksenbaugh. So,
ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your New England Fights main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Your referee for this main event will be John English. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my right, he comes to us from Andrello Fight Team and Ultimate Athletics. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Wusstig. And his opponent, standing directly across the cage, fighting out of the red corner to my left. He comes to us from Team Nostos MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, Nathaniel Grimard. 3 rounds, featherweight main event.
Yeah, and I'm back.
All right, I got my partner back. Just in time for the main event. Nathaniel Grimard in the red corner, white and red trunks. Robert Wusstig, blue corner, black and gray trunks. Here we go.
Thanks to the crew for getting me back on the headset. They came in and fixed it. Thank you, guys. Combat Sports Now, some of the best.
And Nathaniel told me going into this fight here that he thinks this is going to be the hardest fight of his pro career. So that's saying something. He's been in there with some tough guys as he's got Wusstig on the ground right now. And we've seen Nathaniel's wrestling prowess, how good he is on the ground. He's really evolved that, especially after that title fight loss to Billy Wilson. It's almost like he turned a corner and focused more on it and just became better and better.
Well, and when you take good fights, or when you take hard fights, you grow. And we'll see what happens here. He's up for another hard fight. I love young guys that take these tough fights. Win or lose, you want to beat somebody, you got to beat somebody. Of course. The old saying. Wusstig is no joke. Looks like he's trying to set up a triangle. Nathaniel dropping some elbows.
And Grimard on top right now.
Yeah.
Where I would imagine he wanted this fight to be, on the ground, utilizing that wrestling of his. But he did tell me, Greg, that he wants to show his well-rounded skill set here in this fight. He wanted to really, he wants this fight to go a little bit longer, maybe into the third round, and get some cage time against a high-level opponent, and hopefully a signature win under his belt.
Good. Smart kid. Very smart kid.
And Wusstig's record, don't let it fool you, 7-12, but this guy's been in there with, talk about taking tough opponents. That's all he does. He just gets in there and fights tough guys, so you don't see that with everyone on the regional scene. You see some people that pad their records. Not this guy. He goes in there, he'll fight anyone, anytime, and he's got another tough opponent here tonight with Grimard on top of him here in round one.
He's really, Wusstig setting up that triangle, trying really hard to get that left knee up over the shoulder. He switch it over to an armbar from there. It looks like he's trying to, Nate went for a guillotine.
"15 fights down. This is your 16th and final fight of the evening.
And it is 10:15.
10:15.
Not too bad. We'll be out of here by 11 at the latest. He's got the knee over a little bit. It's all about energy expenditure right here. Also, you know how much you empty into the gas from the gas tank. You know? A couple of well-placed elbows by Nathaniel. Makes Robert want to hold on to his neck, and definitely looks like he's trying to lock something up too. I don't think he has anything. That's not a submission position.
No.
Nathaniel just gave him the thumbs up, let him know he's okay. That left thumb is still up.
He's just cranking on his neck right now, and Nathaniel's out.
Yeah, and Robert just used up a lot of lactic acid right there.
Oh, that's what I was just going to say. You're using up a lot of energy here.
Yeah. It's like dirty boxing on the ground. He's throwing those really short elbows, trying to cut up. Good job. Nathan's grinding. He's always been a grinder.
Yeah.
Great work ethic. If you know this kid, you know his work ethic is almost unparalleled.
Hard worker. Always in the gym.
And maturing. You got to remember, we started seeing these guys when they were 19, 18 years old, and now, they're like 24.
10 seconds left in the first round of your main event. Wusstig back up, pressing the action as the bell sounds. Takes us into round two.
Wusstig seemed to have a lot of energy right at the end of that round.
Yep. Popped right up.
Whether it was false or not, he looked more energized, but sometimes that's just to get under your opponent's skin. Demoralize you in the corner when you see you're starting to get tired and he's running around. You're like, oh, God, I got to deal with this. Can demoralize you, but I don't think that affects Nathaniel at all. Wusstig's being cornered by Dustin Benoit from CMBJJ.
Yep. And Wusstig's out of Andrello Fight Team and Ultimate Athletics.
Pretty big dude. Not a lot of body fat on him.
Both of these guys in great shape.
Yeah.
featherweight bout, main event in the 52. Round 2 about to begin. There we go. Right out of the gate, back down we go. Nathaniel Grimard.
Yes.
You can tell that's the game plan. He wants to get this to the ground. He wants to utilize his wrestling, land some elbows.
Pulling a can opener on him. It's a hard submission to pull off. Wusstig with some short elbows of his own down low.
Grimard staying heavy on top.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of action right now, but controlling position, landing some shots to the midsection when he can.
Wusstig turning into him. Nathaniel dropping some elbows when he does. Looking for any opportunity to cut him up with an elbow, punish him for being on the ground.
And maybe to a lot of the fans out there, this might not be the most exciting fight that they've seen all night, but this is a high-level chess match right now on the ground between these two.
For sure, all about positioning. There's a few punches landed by Nathaniel. Seems to be happy staying in half guard and a very controlled position.
And Nathaniel landed some shots right there.
Wusstig's got his knee and he can make some space. Wusstig's team calling for an underhook. There it is. There it is. Now they're talking for him to get up. Yeah. And if Robert wants to get up, he's got to get that right leg out of there. Just pop up to his knees. As long as Nathaniel's got that right leg tied up, Robert's not going to get up. He won't be able to get his hips out. Nathaniel's got that foot on the ground, doing a good job right there. Stuffing him.
Well, Grimard's dictated where this fight is going to take place, and he's been heavy on top.
Yep.
Are you impressed with this performance so far?
So far, yeah. Yeah, he's doing what he has to do. It looks like he's executing his game plan, right? Like, I mean, might be a boring fight to the people in the upper deck, but this is a dominating performance. Just half the game is on the ground,
Yeah.
And like I said, he's happy not to have to pass the full mount. He's happy not to, try some crazy submission that's going to wind up letting Robert get out. So he's doing what he needs to do. And, of course, Devin Powell's right there, 6 inches from his head, telling him what to do. So if Devin's telling, I'm sure he's listening.
Of course.
Very coachable fighter.
Head coach of Nostos MMA, Devin Powell. Always great seeing him around.
Yeah.
Well, Grimard dominant here again in round 2, just staying on top, not doing a ton of damage, but again, scoring points here and there, landing some short punches. Wusstig trying to survive on the bottom.
We got to be coming close to the end of this round. .95 or 97% of it in this position right here is the 10-second bell.
Got one more round to go. The Aura nightclub is still pretty packed. It's not as packed as it was a little bit earlier, as this is the last fight of the night. Some people start to filter out as people they come to cheer for have already fought and gone, but still very impressed as to how packed this venue is.
Yeah, it's not 10:30 yet either, so nobody's in a rush to get out. They want to get their money's worth. See another head kick, knockout.
Jeez, we saw a couple
of them, didn't we?
Vicious head kick knockouts tonight. My goodness. Ian Godine with one of them, William Lagasse with the other.
All right, going to round 3. Is that right?
We're in round 3. The final round of your main event, Nathaniel Grimard, Robert Wusstig.
Well, if you said Nathaniel wanted to showcase his skills, drop it into a single or a double isn't really doing. I mean, he's showcasing his great grappling skills, but I wouldn't. And if I was his coach, I'd probably have him get this victory.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to stand up and trade and take the chance of getting clipped. Do what you're doing. You're winning. Keep doing it. You're dominating. It looks like Wusstig's going to go down right here.
Well, Grimard sticking to that game plan.
Yep.
Rinse and repeat.
On him like a wet blanket. And for Wusstig, he's got to back up and get this thing standing up. He's got to work harder to get that leg out. Nathaniel's got that leg pinched, which is great. That makes it very hard to get up. Looks like he's even get a knee bar from there almost. Knee to the body right there.
I'll tell you what, Grimard's cardio is definitely top notch, because this is a pace nonstop.
Yeah, he's always been so relentless. It's too much for Wusstig right now.
Yeah.
You're right. That's the difference right here, is his cardio.
Cardio and wrestling has been the key for Nathaniel here tonight against Robert Wusstig. Clearly has won both the first 2 rounds on my scorecards for what it's worth, and now again in the same position here in your final round. So I think Wusstig's in a place where he needs to get a finish if he's going to get his hand raised here tonight.
Yep. We saw Ryan Sanders get grinded out in a 5-round fight not long ago, right?
We sure did. Jonathan Piersma for the 170 title.
Right.
It was a wrestling clinic Piersma put on Ryan Sanders.
Yeah, and it looked similar to this, didn't it? Just getting him down,
very
staying
similar
on him, and just outworking him.
So it's mixed martial arts.
Right.
You got to be proficient at every area of the game, and that's why you see so many great wrestlers that make the transition into MMA because you really can dictate where the fight takes place with your wrestling.
The ultimate example being Khabib, right?
Yep.
Like if you can't deal with that, then you can't win.
I'm excited to see Bo Nickel against some higher level competition, because he's just looked so dominant in his first couple of fights here, and obviously with his wrestling accolades, and again you just see it more and more.
Yeah. And didn't somebody just call out Bo Nickel?
Probably, yeah. He gets called out all the time. Now he's got a big name, so. But it goes to show you, like Nathaniel clearly had a game plan here tonight that he was going to use his wrestling to dictate where the fight goes, and he's done that. So
it's working. Well, listen, if you want to showcase your skills too, right? Wear a guy down for 4 rounds, and in the 5th round, when he can't move his arms and he's too tired from working and you're still fresh, use your boxing, your kickboxing. Maybe that's the plan. Who knows? Because he is wearing him down, man.
Well, luckily for both of these guys, because they both look tired. This is the last round. Three rounds here in this main event. Definitely not a title fight.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh, that's all right. But, yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine. I mean, to go 15 full minutes, I mean, that's hard enough. So to go 25, imagine the shape that you need to be in to do that.
Right. Wusstig's frustrated.
Big knees there from Grimard.
Yeah, they're starting to add up and hurt.
And he just keeps peppering him with those knees.
Oh, back of the thigh.
There we go. 10 seconds left in the fight. One that has been dominated by Nostos MMA fighter Nathaniel Grimard. And there it is. Going to a decision here in your main event.
And an obvious one. Yep. Is that Jake Pilla?
Yeah.
Hey, Jake's here. Love Jake.
That's an up-and-coming fighter right there himself, Jake Pilla.
Oh, my God, yeah. Yeah, I've known Jake for such a long time, man.
He's a good dude.
He was in like high school when I knew him. Training with Doomsday Howard. Little kid on the side of the mat. Just him and Doomsday. He's good. You know, him and Doomsday basically, you know, was his guy for so long. It's great.
Wow. 16 fights down. It's been another great night with you, my friend. Now we just need to wait for the official decision. It's almost in. Pete Zimbor will give that to us, and we'll put a bow on NEF 52.
Yeah, always a pleasure working with you, Ryan.
100%. Nobody I'd rather do this with.
You're the best in the biz, man.
Look forward to being back for NEF 53. All right, we'll send it to Pete for the announcement. John English in the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, stick around after the announcement of this decision as we'll be awarding our Performance of the Night bonuses. After 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to the scorecards. Judges Scott Mallon, Matt Collins, and Nick Mahmoud all score this fight the same, 30-27. For your winner, via unanimous decision, Nathaniel Grimard.
No surprise there. Nathaniel Grimard gets his hand raised as your winner for tonight's main event. Looks like Pete might have a couple words.
Nathaniel, want a quick word for your fans in attendance here tonight in Portland, Maine? Gruel it out over 3 hard-fought rounds, 3 rounds in which you swept on the judges' scorecards and get the job done.
Yeah, you know I was stronger in the wrestling, and I know I knew how to show it. Thank you for everybody coming out. Mom, Dad, I love you. Happy Mother's Day.
Anything else you'd like to say to your many fans before we bid them farewell tonight?
I just want to thank you, and Jake Detmeyer, I'll see you in September.
Ladies and gentlemen, victorious in our main event tonight,
that's a good
Nathaniel Grimard.
Jake Detmeyer, Nathaniel Grimard. I like
tough fight.
I like that fight.
It's a good fight.
Well, Nathaniel Grimard gets his hand raised in your main event.
I'd like to bring